Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about financial abundance and beliefs that need to be cleared so that you are able to pursue wealth. One of the main reasons people can't pursue abundance or wealth is because they're limited by severe subconscious beliefs which inhibit them from having these experiences. That being said, I received an email from a client, and the email list, he has 4 different questions. And I found that by answering these questions for him online for you guys will benefit from the answer as well. It's very important you have these foundational understandings. And of course, for the sake of privacy, I'm going to leave out his personal information. We'll just call him V, okay? So V, the first question he said is, while listening to this, I have had severe depression, and I realize that all my desires and goals are lies that are imposed from the outside and are only meant to prove to everyone that I am enough. In fact, I do not want anything, or I do not want anything, or I do not know what I want, including money. I just logically understand that I need them to survive, which is probably why the MP3 is not working properly. Now, actually, this is a common misunderstanding. Notice, basically, he's saying he's come to the realization that everything he's ever wanted is just a lie to prove his self-worth, and that because of this realization, he believes the MP3 is not working. Actually, this means that the MP3 is working. You have to understand that most people, 99% of people in their lives, they are driven by needs that are given to them on a subconscious level, needs to prove their self-worth. Even I had suffered from this for a very long time. So the need for like $1 million, the need for a huge house, the need for that corporate job, it's all being motivated by a subconscious desire to prove your self-worth, because all your life you've been told that you're worth nothing, that you have to prove your value to others by what you do, by what you acquire. Having these motivations within most people causes a severe amount of pain within us on a very deep level. However, we suppress that pain our whole lives. We just ignore it, hoping that somehow by acquiring the house, by acquiring the millions of dollars, will make the pain go away. When you're listening to the MP3 is actually bringing these false beliefs to the surface so that you can clear them out. The depression that one feels from being aware of this is pain that's always been there. It's just being brought to your awareness. Now, here's what most people mess up, is that they believe that this pain means that the MP3 isn't working. Actually, no, it's working quite well. It's just telling you need to readjust your priorities. You need to focus in a different direction that's not being motivated by self-hate. Let me give you an example. I want you to think of a time where, imagine that there's a fire, okay? And that you stick your hand in the fire and then your hand starts to burn. So the pain is actually telling you, remove your hand from the damn fire, right? So then you remove your hand from the fire and go to a different direction. That's all it's doing. So the depression that this guy is feeling from having this like desires and goals that are motivated from the outside, the pain is saying, move your hand out the fire and reorient your goals into a different direction. Make your goals so that they are no longer from the outside, but from the inside. So in this specific case, V, what I would tell you to do is, the pain of this is telling you to take your focus and make your goals from something that inspires you, something that is from creation, from inspiration, from serving others. Spend time of what makes your soul sing. What makes your soul sing? What makes your soul happy? Now, I'm not saying that money is a bad thing. Money is just a physical manifestation of love, of abundance. So I'm not telling you to reject that, but understand that if you pursue what makes your soul sing, it's going to raise your frequency. And by raising your frequency, you'll find it's easier to achieve abundance. You're still getting the depression because you're still trying to pursue money based upon money by itself. You're trying to pursue it without the self-love, without the high frequency, without tuning in to what makes your soul sing. So actually the MP3 is working just the way it's supposed to work, but the reason the depression isn't going away is because you have not changed direction. It's like me, for instance, let me give you another metaphor. Imagine that your whole life, society just pumps your hands full of Novocaine so that you don't feel pain, right? And then they tell you to put your hand in fire, right? So then on a very deep level, you know something's wrong, and the only way they've been telling you the only way you can remove your hand from the fire is to, I don't know, buy a brand new car, right? But then all of a sudden when you listen to the MP3 is going to remove the Novocaine from your arm. So now that the Novocaine's left your arm, and now you suddenly become aware of the pain. You're like, oh my God, my hand's on fire, my hand's burning, what am I gonna do? Remove your hand from the damn fire. Remove your hand from the damn fire, that's all you need to do, okay? Okay, so the second question he has is, I don't feel anxious anymore. All that's left is anger and hatred for myself because I realize that my life has been a lie and I'm trying to lie to myself about who I am. It's become obvious how weak I am and how I've been all this time. This is my biggest fear of being weak. Now, as the MP3 is working within you, it's going to be removing layers of negative beliefs from you. And the last thing you want to do is hate yourself. Now, the anger is good at first because the anger is necessary because anger causes motion. Anger causes us to take action. How many times in your life have you been really sick of something and you're like, I'm tired of this shit. I'm not going to take any more of it. I'm going to change. That's good about the anger. You should be like, I'm angry. I don't want to do this anymore. However, it's a trick to hate yourself because that's a trick of society. Society wants you to hate yourself because if you hate yourself, you don't love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, you will take abuse. So for that, focus on forgiveness. You need to really forgive yourself. Understand that the cards were stacked against you when you were born and that you were given these false ideologies and these false beliefs to pursue. Now, I know on a deeper level, one could say that we chose all this before coming to Earth, but just for now, forgive yourself. You can't move on without forgiving yourself. The anger you've been feeling is part of the lies that all people have. These lies that they have to be someone else to get love. The lies that you have to be someone else to make money. That you can't be your true self. If you are your true self, you'll be rejected. So that's what the anger and depression is telling you. You're believing in a lie. So the same metaphor again about sticking your hand in the fire. If you're feeling pain now, the emotions, the angers are telling you now to be yourself. To be yourself regardless of what anyone says, regardless of what anyone says or what anyone tells you. And I'm very passionate about this because this stuff really pisses me off that most of us are on this shit. These lies that are controlling us, and that's why makes me really angry. I'm also very passionate. So yes, the MP3 is working exactly how it's supposed to work. It's bringing to your attention that you're being someone that you're not, based upon a belief that that's the only way you're going to get love. And the reason you still have the depression is because on a deep level, you're still holding on to these ideas because you're afraid that you will not be safe. That's furthest from the truth. So when you stick your hand in the fire and it's burning, what does it tell you? It tells you to remove your hand from the fire. So if you're having these angers and these emotions, it's telling you remove your hand from the fire of society. Go in the other direction. Be yourself, and forgive yourself for whatever you've been feeling. That's all you got to do. The second question is there's a sensation of suffocation or something that's stuck in my throat. It gets worse while listening to the MP3, and sometimes it's hard to breathe. Now, this is very rare, not to scare the shit out of you people, but it's very rare that people feel this, but what you're feeling is the expression of fear, all right? When people feel fear or anxiety, it affects you on a physiological level. And that fear is, it can manifest in the throat, it can manifest in the chest, but only if you really want to hold on to it. If you really want to hold on to it to a fear, for fear that you'll be hurt if you don't hold on to it. So in his specific instance, the throat thing is coming from the fact that he feels that he can't express himself. He feels that he can't breathe because of these ideologies from society that he's been holding on to. If he just decides to let go of them, he'll feel better and understand it's going to pass. Sometimes it's common to have physical experiences in the body. Fear manifests itself through anxiety, through pressure, through tension. It's all trapped in the body. The important part is to understand that these things have always been there inside of you. It's that these are what's keeping you from wealth. This is how the MP3 works, because you have to understand you're spending your whole life basically being poisoned by society. You've been poisoned by what they tell you, poisoned about self-love. All these ideologies that you've been holding inside you are based upon lies. Lies resonate at a certain frequency and they cause pain. So basically you're becoming aware of this and you just have to decide just to let go of it. You don't need it anymore. He also has some pressure in his chest as well, and I've experienced this as well. It comes from anxiety. Sometimes the body will physiologically manifest these symptoms because it's your fear, it's your emotion that you've been holding on to. Now these things will pass usually within a day or so, but you have to understand that they've always been there. This is where it gets most people screwed up, is they believe that somehow, I'm just looking at the notes here to make sure I'm remembering what I want to tell you guys. People believe that somehow the MP3 is causing this, and no, it's not causing it. It's actually always been there within you. This is why you're not making money. This is why you're stuck in life. This is why you can't reach those goals you want financially. This is why you're always struggling. This is why no matter how hard you try, you can't seem to make money. It's because all of your motivations are based upon lies that create pain within you on a spiritual level and on an emotional level. I want you to think about something for a second. If your whole motivation to make money is to prove to someone that you're not a piece of garbage, what the hell is that? That means you're starting off from a low frequency. You're starting off from a frequency where you believe that you're garbage, where you believe that you're not worth anything, that you believe that you don't deserve anything, unless someone else tells you so. So if you don't believe you deserve anything unless someone tells you so, how the hell do you expect to attract money, right? So when you listen to the MP3 and you start to have these feelings come to the surface, it's showing you through the depression, it's showing you that your whole motivations are based upon lies. You know what I mean? And so what happens when most people, they get stuck in this loop and they're like, oh, I suck. No, it's telling you your hand's in fire. Pull it out the fire. Find your own motivation. Find a reason why you want to make the money. Like, is there something you want to do? Do you want to experience life? Do you just want to have a sense of abundance? Do you want to give yourself a treat? Do you feel like experiencing something special in your life? You got to move through it. You got to sit with it. You got to be with it. You got to accept it. All right. Like you can't pull your hand out the fire unless you first acknowledge that it's in the fire. You can't acknowledge that it's in the fire until you first become aware of the pain. So what the MP3 is doing is bringing the pain to your awareness, bringing these dark emotions to your awareness. So remove your hand from the damn fire, find a new motivation. I can't give you the motivation. I can't give you the reason. You have to choose to do it yourself. Or you can leave your hand in the fire and wonder why it hurts. The second thing about the self-hate and being someone who you believe you can't be, this is another belief that's been keeping you from having money. How are you supposed to get paid for being who you are if you believe you have to be someone else to make money? Even I suffered from this, and we all suffer from these beliefs. How many times have you heard all this stuff? You have to demonstrate value. You have to give a person a reason to want to be with you, or to show how you're special, or how are you unique? What makes you special? As opposed to you can't be special by yourself. As opposed to like your very nature of who you are doesn't matter. That it doesn't count. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? Every single one of us is unique. Every single one of us, just the way we are, has something unique and special to offer to the world. But if you believe you have to be someone else to make money, then how are you supposed to make money? How are you supposed to attract money? How are you supposed to attract abundance? It's everywhere. It's all around you. It's easy. By the very definition that you believe you have to be someone else, you're holding the feeling that you're not good enough the way you are. And if you're not good enough the way you are, if you believe you're not good enough the way you are, then reality will give that back to you in the form of poverty. So as you feel these emotions, you have to just decide. You have to make a decision. Are you going to spend the rest of your life hating yourself because you believed in a lie, or are you going to choose now? Choose to forgive yourself and choose to discover who you really are and just be who you are. Damned if people like it or not. Who cares? If people accept you, if they don't accept you, who cares? But let me let you in on a little secret, all right? The secret of when you decide to be who you really are, you're going to form a vibrational frequency that is going to attract others in your tribe. So that means everyone who doesn't really appreciate who you are, they'll fall from your life, and that's okay. You know what I mean? You don't need everyone to like you. You don't need everyone to approve of you, but you will attract those who are resonating on the same frequency, who understand what you're saying. So you need to make that decision. And if you're still in that level of depression after listening to the MP3, it's because you have not made the decision to forgive yourself. You have not made that decision to love yourself. And you have not made that decision to find your own goals, find your own purpose. You're still holding on to that anger and the self-hate. In the email, he said to me, I'm still not making money. Well, duh. Well, duh, you know what I mean? You're still holding your hand on the fire. You haven't changed direction. You haven't listened to what the pain is telling you. Get this through your head, and I'm very passionate when I say this. Pain is not a punishment for you. It's telling you to change directions. That's all it's saying to you. It's saying you're going in the wrong direction, you're sticking your hand in the fire, pull it out of the damn fire and go in the other direction. That's why you're hot. You know what I mean? So you need to understand this. And if you're still feeling depression, it's because you're not listening to the message. You need to start loving yourself. You need to start expressing yourself. You need to follow your own goals. You know, if you have trouble doing that, then I recommend the trifecta of power. Go into the self-love. I recommend absolute courage, helping you remove those fears and unleash your infinite power. But the MP3 itself is pulling that all out of you. You're just being stubborn. You need to just decide to go and move in that direction. In terms of the physical manifestations in the body, just understand that if you do have temporary manifestations in the body, it's fear. It's trapped fear that's coming out. And everyone has these things. Everyone has various levels of these. But the more you hold on to the fear, the more you hold on to the idea that you hate yourself and that you're stuck, then it's going to trap the fear within the body, trap the discomfort within the body. Something you said to me that really stood out to me was that, if I can remember correctly, what is it? What did he say? Let me check. He said that, oh yeah, he's still having trouble making money, you know? And I'm going back to this because he's missing the point, all right? The reason you're not attracting abundance is because you're still hanging on these low frequencies. You're still trying to find motivation that's based upon having your hand in the fire, all right? You need to find a motivation that's not based upon you proving your self-worth. And then you need to just find what makes your soul sing, right? And then it's gonna raise your frequency. And people always say, well, how am I supposed to pay the rent if I do what makes me happy? You have to understand that I'm not telling you to just do what makes you happy as a way to magically make money appear and pay your rent. But you have to understand that when you do what makes you happy, it's going to cause a vibrational rise in your frequency. When your frequency rises, it's going to change. It's cause a change in your perception. And once that change in your perception starts to happen, it's going to start to expand. And once it starts to expand, you're going to start attracting money and seeing abundance in a different way. But you can't do that if your motivations are based upon fear. So you need to take a whole new shift in your life. For those who are watching this video, you have to understand that this MP3 that's designed, the Unreal series of limited financial abundance, that it's basically a drain cleaner of all the gunk and the garbage that you've collected in your life for all this time, all right? And it's the quickest way to get it out of your system. Imagine if you've basically been constipated for, I don't know, all your life. Since you were in kindergarten, you've been emotionally constipated with tons of crap and garbage in your stomach and in your intestines, metaphorically speaking. And what this MP3 does is it acts as a diuretic. It's going to flush it all out of you, all that garbage out of you. All right. So once you start taking these craps, don't hold it in. A lot of people get scared. They're like, oh, I have to have diarrhea. What happens if you have diarrhea and you try to hold it in because you're afraid? It's going to be a mess, right? So you just got to let it go. Let it go. Understand what's happening and let it out of your system. And after the purging and the cleansing is done, then you can allow real organic food into your system. Same as you can allow abundance, money, and wealth into your system. So I hope this answers your question. And if you want the depression to stop, it's the same answer I'd give you if your hand is in the fire. If you want your hand to stop burning, then take it from the fire. The depression, the emotional pain you're feeling is telling you that you're in the wrong direction. Still, you're still holding on to these society-based values of self-hate and goals. So you need to just change direction, and then pain's going to go away. That's all it's trying to tell you. I hope you find this useful. If you want more videos like this, let me know. I know it's a bit long, about 20 minutes, but it's really important for you guys to understand these concepts because we all suffer from them. If you want more information like this, just leave it in the comments below. Taking that diuretic for your financial system, your financial life, you can click on the link below. But keep in mind with this video that if you've been constipated for like your whole life, you're going to take a diuretic. A lot of crap's going to come out. It's not going to smell good. It's going to cause cramping, but it's better in than out. So just understand that this isn't like a magical fairy dust thing that's going to make you feel better all of a sudden. You're going to have to take a huge emotional dump to clear yourself out so you can make money. I know that was very colorful. I hope you enjoyed the metaphor. Let me know your thoughts below. Remember, stay empowered, stay healthy, stay strong. You guys are appreciated, and I'll see you in the next video.